This is a 44 Magnum, as you know, the most powerful handgun in the world. Not anymore, but it was then. And it has fired neither 5 nor 6 because it's empty. And this is one of the original guns from the movie. And when I did the second movie, I said, I want one of those guns. Can't you get the prop department to steal one of those guns and give it to me? So Clint and Warner Brothers publicity guy arranged to get that, and they put a plaque on it and everything. So it's a very valuable gun now, and it's become an icon. Anytime you make a movie, there's lots of scene changes, and if the director wanted to and said, I'm going to do your script exactly the way it's written, which I do when I direct one of my scripts, obviously when you're there on the spot, you're going to change things. You're going to find things that are better and worse, and the actors are going to say different things, and so there's going to be a lot of changes and stuff like that. And people always say, well, what part is your original? I said, all the parts you liked. Clint Eastwood is very, very much that way, very quiet, very, no big deal, very unpretentious. There's no, everything is straight up, just what it is. I am sure that he had no trouble all of his life in dealing with fans or anything like that, because he probably changed very little as time went on. He's basically the same guy now that I knew back then, And he's a very good person. He's a very generous person. He's one of the few actors that if you call him up, he'll always call you back in an hour or two. And I've made movies that are that other actors who are famous actors, their best movies. And if I call them up, they'll say, what does he want? I better check. None of that with Clint. Clint's right up there, and everybody admires him, because of that. He has those old, almost Midwest values. My, kind of input into the character came from a number of things. I knew a cop who was kind of a Dirty Harry type cop, and he'd shot quite a number of people. He was a Long Beach detective, and he said always, when I'm put on the case, the verdict is in. And he didn't usually bring the people back, and he was a real classic kind of character, because he was more out of L.A. Confidential than Dirty Harry. But he was an interesting guy because he, in his part-time, was a dog trainer, and he was very gentle in training the dogs. And he believed that you had to be very gentle in training dogs, but he was not gentle with human beings,